What is going on, football fans? Buckle up because we have some absolutely shocking, potentially franchise-altering news coming out of the NFL world today, and yes, it involves none other than the Dallas Cowboys. If you've been online, scrolling Twitter or listening to any kind of sports radio in the last hour, you've probably seen the rumors spreading like wildfire. Yes, I'm talking about the rumor that Rashod Bateman, the talented wide receiver from the Baltimore Ravens, could be making his way to none other than Jerry World, suiting up in that iconic star on the helmet, the Dallas Cowboys blue and silver. This could be one of the most unexpected and jaw-dropping trades we've seen all season, and I'm here to break it all down: what we know, what we don't know, what it means for both teams, and why fans on both sides are either losing their minds or scratching their heads wondering if this is actually happening. Let's start by talking about Rashod Bateman himself. The man was a first-round pick in 2021 out of Minnesota, a guy with elite route-running ability, strong hands, underrated speed, and perhaps most importantly, the potential to be a true WR1 in the right system. He entered the league with high expectations, especially considering the Ravens' ongoing struggles to build a consistent and dangerous receiving core for Lamar Jackson. But Bateman's early NFL career was unfortunately plagued by injuries, nagging soft tissue issues, a groin injury, a Lisfranc foot injury that required surgery, and just when it looked like he was getting into rhythm, setbacks happened. But despite all of that, when he was healthy, when he was on the field, the flashes were there: the explosiveness, the ability to separate, the intelligence in his route trees, all signs that he's capable of being a high-level contributor. Fast forward to the 2024 season, and Bateman finally seemed to be putting it all together. He stayed relatively healthy, played in nearly all of Baltimore's games, and posted career highs across the board: receptions, yards, touchdowns. He wasn't just a rotational guy anymore, he was becoming a real weapon in that offense. And yet, there was always this lingering feeling that Baltimore never quite knew what to do with him. With Zay Flowers emerging, Mark Andrews continuing to dominate the middle of the field, and the Ravens always leaning on their run-heavy identity, it just didn't feel like Bateman was ever going to become the true focal point of that offense. And now we're hearing whispers, no, let's call them what they are, thunderclaps, that Dallas, yes, America's team, is actively exploring a move to bring him to Texas. Now, why would Dallas be interested in Bateman? Let's think about it. The Cowboys have one of the best receivers in the game in CeeDee Lamb, no debate there. But beyond him, the depth chart has been shaky. They tried to bring in Brandon Cooks as a veteran complement, and while he's had his moments, he's aging and not the same deep threat he once was. Michael Gallup hasn't returned to form since his injury, and the younger guys haven't stepped up consistently. The result? An offense that's overly reliant on Lamb, and defenses know it. They bracket him, double him, throw safety help over the top, and force Dak Prescott to look elsewhere. So bringing in a guy like Bateman, with his skill set, crisp route running, deceptive speed, smooth hands, could give Dallas the exact second threat they need to truly take the top off defenses. Imagine this: you've got CeeDee Lamb on one side, Bateman on the other, Jake Ferguson working the seam, Pollard or whoever is in the backfield flaring out. That's the kind of balance that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep. But this isn't just about adding another talented player, this is also about timing. The Cowboys are in a strange spot. They're a team that's always in the playoff conversation, usually ends the regular season with double-digit wins, but then crashes and burns when it matters most. And let's be honest, patience is wearing thin. Jerry Jones wants to win now. Mike McCarthy is under immense pressure. Dak's contract situation looms large. This is a win-now window, and Dallas knows they can't afford to go into another postseason with a one-dimensional offense. Acquiring Bateman would be a clear message: we're not here to play it safe. We're here to go all in. Now, let's flip the coin and talk about the Ravens. Why would Baltimore even consider letting Bateman go, especially after giving him a 3-year extension? That's the million-dollar question. On the surface, it doesn't make a ton of sense. They've invested time and development into him. He's just now entering his prime, and he finally showed signs of breaking out. But let's dig deeper. Baltimore, despite its success, is a team that operates a certain way. They value system fit, role players, and scheme execution over individual star power, especially on offense. If they feel like Bateman doesn't quite fit the long-term vision, or if they believe they can get a high pick or an impact player in return, they may see this as a sell-high moment. Also, the Ravens have other young receivers waiting in the wings. Zay Flowers is clearly the future of that receiver room. There are rumors that Baltimore has been quietly shopping some of their skill players for weeks now, just testing the market, seeing what's out there. And if Dallas is desperate enough, and let's be honest, they could offer a second-round pick, or even a player plus a third-rounder. That could be enough to make Baltimore pick up the phone. There's also the money factor. Even though Bateman's extension wasn't bank-breaking, every dollar matters when you're paying a top-tier QB like Lamar Jackson. Baltimore may see this as an opportunity to free up space and reinvest in the defense or offensive line. And then there's the human element. We don't talk about it enough, but it matters. Does Bateman want to be in Baltimore? Publicly, he said the right things. He's expressed love for the team, for Lamar, for the city. But we've also seen frustration from him in the past: cryptic tweets, deleted posts, offhand comments in interviews. Maybe he wants a fresh start. Maybe he wants to be the guy in an offense, not just another piece in a run-first scheme. And Dallas could offer that opportunity. Now, let's talk scheme fit. One of the things that makes this rumor so exciting and potentially realistic is how well Bateman would fit into the Cowboys' offensive philosophy. With McCarthy calling plays and Dak looking more comfortable in rhythm-based timing routes, Bateman fits like a glove. He's not a pure burner, but he's a guy who can beat press coverage, find soft spots in zone, and turn a 10-yard dig into a 30-yard gain. He's also a clean route technician, and that's something Dallas has sorely missed outside of Lamb. In today's NFL, separation is everything. If you can't get open quickly, your quarterback gets hit. Bateman gets open. Period. And let's talk about Dak for a second. Say what you want about him, but when he has a full arsenal of weapons, he's incredibly efficient. His 2023 and 2024 numbers were solid, but imagine what he could do with two high-end receivers instead of one. Suddenly, the offense isn't predictable. You can spread the field. You can go four wide. You can shift formations and force defenses to commit to coverage or run support. That opens up the playbook massively. And now for the part every fan wants to know: is this actually going to happen? Is Rashod Bateman really going to be traded to the Dallas Cowboys? Well, I'll be real with you right now, nothing is confirmed. The talks are happening. That much we know from people around the league. Some insiders say the Cowboys have made inquiries. Others say there's real traction. But at the end of the day, this depends on what both teams want. If Dallas is willing to pay a premium, and if Baltimore sees this as a smart long-term move, it could go down. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but watch the trade deadline. If Dallas starts slow, if their offense struggles out of the gate, I wouldn't be shocked if Jerry Jones pulls the trigger. He's not one to sit around and hope things magically improve. And if Baltimore hits any roadblocks or needs to shuffle the roster mid-season, Bateman could be the odd man out, not because he isn't talented, but because he's expendable at the right price. So stay locked in, because this is one of those rumors that could become reality fast. We've seen crazier trades in the past. Just last year, no one saw Stephon Diggs moving. No one thought Hopkins would be released. And yet, in this league, nothing stays stable for long. I'll be watching this story like a hawk and updating you the moment anything breaks. Until then, hit that like button if you're hyped about the idea of Bateman in a Cowboys jersey. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you make this trade if you were the Cowboys GM? Or would you rather stick with what you've got? Subscribe if you're new, and don't forget in the NFL, the biggest moves always happen when you least expect them.